Hello everyone and welcome to this YouTube special crypto, altcoin, whatever it is, live stream. I hope you're all doing very well. Please give me a quick sound confirmation as always. And also please give me your requests in the chat of altcoins you want me to look at, because I just wanted to take some time and check some maybe swing trading setups for the next couple of days or even weeks, as we had some interesting price action on BTC, Ethereum, Solana. This is what I already covered in my last video, must have been a week ago or something. I wanted to catch up on that and see where we are trading now, if there's new opportunities. I am currently in quite a few trades, so I do have to manage that as well, because today has been an amazing day. But yeah, as I said, please keep your requests coming. I will have a look at the chat here. And one thing before we begin is that everything I'm covering in this stream is, of course, no financial advice. It is all for educational purposes only. So only if you accept that, you can continue watching that video. So yeah, I'm going to have a look at the altcoins that are requested the most. So if you have something, do let me know. I can see gold. Yeah, it looks like an altcoin. It's not though. So let's see. So today's been an amazing day. Also, let me know in the chat, how was your day thus far? Have you taken any trades? So yeah, we're gonna have a look at everything. So we will start by looking at BTC on the daily time frame. Okay, when I've done my last video, I think we were still trading up here. So this was BTC close to $74,000 lows. At the time, I was already expecting a new low to be made. I explained exactly why. And this is after losing this big demand zone that we had on BTC. For me, the most obvious place to look at next was simply this previous low right here, taking out 74,384. What we can see is that BTC has obviously taken out these lows. We have seen an initial reject. No, I think the video I made was exactly here. So we have seen this initial reaction. However, price was not really able to give us a sign of strength. So now I remember, at the time I was looking for that market structure change. So we can see, if we use that as our reference point right here, there was no market structure change on BTC. So yes, we have seen that minor bounce here. Then we have seen this SFP, but overall, all price was doing here was a simply continuing this downtrend. So for me, whenever I see that and it comes to swing trading, I am staying super careful and hesitant to be taking these trades. In this video, I also want to go through some of my approaches when it comes to spot buying, because I have bought BTC in terms of spot. However, I'm not in any leverage long trades. Okay, so that is how we approach that level right here at, actually we hit $60,000 on BTC, as we knew that is going to be our next big level of interest. After taking out this low, the next big level we had to be aware of is the previous range value area high into the point of control and all of these daily levels that we had down here. Now we have to look at the reaction that we formed down here. I want to do this on the 4-hour time frame, and today I even want to look at the order flow. Okay, so we can see we hit 60,000. We can actually mark this out, as that was quite a nice bounce off of 60,000. So 60,000. We can see 60,000 taken out, and ever since, price bounced about 20%. Okay, so this is a 20% bounce. If we look at this on an intraday time frame, yeah, it looks nice. This is, or on at least the lower time frames, it's nice. 20% is not bad at all. What we can see, however, is that price is still forming a series of lower highs. And whenever we see that, we at least have to be aware of the fact that we might see a new low. So what I'm going to do in this video is check, is there a retracement level that I am interested in buying, even for a leveraged long trade? What am I going to do if we see a new low? And also, if we miss all of my entries of interest, what am I going to do if we reclaim certain levels? Okay, so I'm just going to give a full transparent outlook here on my approach on BTC. One thing right off the bat, I did buy one BTC down here. This is just, it was part of my plan to buy Bitcoin if we take out, or if we, actually it wasn't exactly 60,000. So I bought around 63,000 or 64,000. This was part of my plan. I accept the risk there. And that being said, this is just done. I will buy more BTC if we take out the lows again. So for me, it's going to be in an area of interest into 50,000 pretty much. If we drop more, I would buy more, of course, but I would say on the higher timeframes, I would expect to bottom out at some point here, if you ask me. Okay, so this is just my plan. I will buy more if we take out the lows. So now, in order to judge this reaction right here, I do need to check the order flow on BTC for a second. Okay, I like to use Atas, where we can see I'm currently in that one trade here, still on ES, sitting in 2,000 profit. But when we look at BTC, something that's very interesting here is that there's not really any open interest coming in on this move to the upside. So this down here is our open interest. We can see on this rise to the upside, the open interest decreased. Then we can zoom in and see a few longs stepped in, or no, this is actually short trades, crazy. So the only open interest increase that we had was short trades opening at the VWAP, the weekly VWAP at the time. We can see there was another order, or a bigger order opening here. Again, short trades, 20 million short trades. For now, they are sitting in profits. We have another 5 million shorts open, 2.4 million shorts open. So when I look at this, this is obviously forming these bullish divergences here. As we can see, prices making a higher low. At the same time, we can see a lower low in terms of the shorts are weighing more than the long trades at the moment, but limit orders are holding price. Okay, this is how we form these bullish divergences. However, I do view this as a sign of weakness for now, and there's two ways this can play out. One is, of course, we simply see continuation to the downside, which in my opinion is rather probable for now. The other scenario that we have is a short squeeze, but in my opinion, this short squeeze would only come into play if we reclaim 71,450. Why is that? Because at the time of trading at around $71,000, I identified another 66 million shorts. And what we have to understand here is that all of these shorts are sitting in profits. As long as we can't reclaim $71,000, I can't really view this as bullish, because when we hit a level of interest, we get many short trades. This is only a good sign if we trap those short traders. For now, this has yet to happen. There was zero, or they have simply not been trapped at this point. So I would still consider BTC rather weak right here. Okay, so I'm still going to look at the order flow again to see if there's something. Now we have an MPOC down there. So I'm going to see. We have a new daily level here. I can delete this old one and say we do have this daily. If I check the, let's stay on the 4-hour time frame actually. I'm going to check the CC here to see where the CC is coming in. Down here. So we, of course, have a scenario of CC and then make a new high. The way I would trade this, the only good trade I could see here is an intraday trade around the CC. For me, I don't even want to pre-plan this trade because I don't really class this as an amazing level. For me, I would prefer a new low for the next best trade, if I'm honest with you. And that would simply be, I have to mark out this. No, this was actually hit. Probably be into the daily down here. So when it comes to this right here, I can't pre-plan a trade because the way I operate is I only include the absolute best levels in my plans because I don't really want to have these conditional trades. Okay, on the day I will update, of course, the community if I see a trade here. I do think it's rather unlikely, though, that I will take a trade here. Okay, so I don't like to include that in my plans. The next best trade I can see is taking out 60,000 again into these daily levels below and then a simple reclaim of our lows. So this would look something along these lines, where we take out the dailies, we take out the lows, we see a reclaim of the low, and this is where I'm definitely interested in a leverage long position, because this is where I have an easy invalidation. I can use the local low, wherever that's going to be, as my local low, and then target, at this point I would at least target 74,000 to be honest on BTC. Okay, so this is one of my trades of interest. This would be something I'm actually going to place an alert here, but I will see on the day, as I just don't like how the market is rolling. Over here we have 0 long trades coming in and also quite a few short stepping in. Even when you look at the daily time frame here, in my opinion, there's been a very nice sign of weakness here. When we look at today, we have this previous demand zone, demand once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times on BTC. We can check the fixed range right there, and we can see previous range value area low. And the previous demand zone was flipped into resistance. For me, that is a big sign of weakness, and I would at least expect to actually see 63,664 taken out. Okay. Yeah, this is BTC in terms of a retracement long, which I'm not really interested in for now. If we make a new low, I am definitely interested as the sign of strength, where I could then still react to a change in the market context, is claiming 71,450. Okay, so the good thing as a trader is we don't always have to long the absolute low. We don't have to short the absolute high of the move. We can stay patient, wait for additional confirmation, and then take a trade. So another good thing is that we continuously get these intraday levels. We get previous day value areas, we get NPOCs on the daily time frames. So if we just assume price is bouncing here, I don't manage to take this long trade because I'm too conservative. At some point, we will take out these highs, and then I will have new intraday levels. I might have a new daily level, a new high time frame level. I might have a previous day value area low or whatever, where I can still take a trade, which is going to start as more of a day trade and can then turn into a swing trade potentially. So this is a time where we have to be super careful, or not careful, but at least stay ahead of the market and be prepared for each and every scenario that might happen. Because if a scenario like this is going to occur, I know exactly what to do. The moment we take out those highs, which I would consider a nice sign of strength, I would then see, is there an intraday long trade to get into the next day? And then I will see, can I build this trade even further? Can I stay in this trade for longer? Or are we going to see another sign of weakness? And this is only going to be a day trade, for example. Okay, so here it's very important to be active and follow these markets now. Okay, so this is my plan on BTC. When it comes to short trades, I know many are looking at the 74,000 retest. For me, short trades, I don't know. I was interested in short trades higher up, and where we are trading now, I'm not really interested in any short trades, to be honest with you. This is just my preference at this point. I do want to see price break out of this range. Short trades I have taken way higher and not down here. Okay, so that's that. Now I can have a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum has also been super interesting. And we can see across the crypto market that, yes, we have seen some really nice bounces. Overall, though, we are failing to see the signs of strength. Okay, so on Ethereum, what I was saying was we had this potential SFP level at 2,111. It is a nice level, to be honest. It was a nice level if we had seen a sign of strength, which we simply failed to do. And the next obvious place to look at was the monthly, the massive range point of control. I'm going to show this here. It's on the weekly time frame. We include data of, what is it, 1,840 days. So this is a massive, massive point of control. We had a daily level lineup here, so this definitely was a nice level of interest, where I have also bought some spot Ethereum. When it comes to my spot approach, it's not that I have to time the absolute low. I set aside some capital for crypto to buy the dip. Okay, my first buy on Ethereum was already a little bit higher. I think it was around 2,000, because this was just a limit order that I had. I bought more spot down here at 1,800, and I will DCA more into Ethereum if we drop lower. This is a different approach to trading some leveraged positions. As on leveraged positions, we obviously try to time more of the absolute low of the move, because you don't want to add into leverage long trades and double down on a position. You can always add on strength, but not double down on a losing position, okay? So this was Ethereum in terms of spot. In terms of any leverage trades here, we can see that we simply fail to see a sign of strength. And in my opinion, the most obvious sign of strength here would have been to reclaim 2111. We have seen a beautiful reaction here for day trades, perfect. When it comes to swing trades though, I at least want to see a change in context here, and a change in context for me would at least be the reclaim of 2111, as that is a previous very significant low, or a market structure change, and neither of this has happened yet. So we can see this is a lower high, lower high, lower high. For now, nothing has changed. We failed to reclaim and we failed to change the market structure. So for me, I have to be reactionary here again, wait for the sign of strength first, and then, same as I was trying to explain on BTC, try to get into this intraday position that I can potentially hold for longer. So we just try to think into the future again. We say Ethereum bottoms out down here, which I don't really expect, but let's just assume that. We make a new high, we reclaim this SFP. This is where I would say, okay, now I actually see a sign of strength on Ethereum. So what I can do next is look at my intraday levels. For example, there might be a previous day value area low, there might be an NPOC, and there might be a new daily level here. And this is where I can then still get into my intraday position, aiming for much higher prices, because that is one of these intraday trades that I would try to keep open for a longer time. That means I will be later to the party. I will long Ethereum later, but I will long Ethereum based off a sign of strength, which we have simply not seen yet. I hope this makes sense in terms of the approach. That is definitely more conservative, but imagine you were trying to long every single low on Ethereum on this drop to the downside without waiting for the sign of strength. Here you would have been absolutely wrecked. We can see beautiful level here, no reaction, beautiful level here, no reaction. For now, a little bit of a reaction, but there's no sign of strength yet. And if you just do your back testing, and I have just released a video about this actually on how I build a trading strategy, you can see that I always do back testing for each and every level that I trade, and I also back test how I could potentially have entered all of these trades. And when we look at Ethereum, a little bit of a educational bit here, you can see that waiting for these market structure changes or these signs of strength is still a super profitable strategy on Ethereum. Because on Ethereum, from my experience, sometimes we might range for, it could be 20, 30, 40 days, nothing really is happening, and then at some point we get this impulsive move, and this is where we want to be involved in the markets and not shop around a level that is nice but not really giving us the confirmation at all. Okay, another thing I wanted to look at was Solana. Of course, I was ready and waiting for $95. This simply, same as with BTC, same as with the Ethereum, didn't give a beautiful reaction. In terms of spot, again, I did buy Solana, but Solana I also bought at $95, and then I added more at 70. And for now, no leverage long trades on Solana. I'm following the exact same approach. I'm waiting for the sign of strength. I'm waiting for market structure changes. And then I will be interested in just longing Solana all the way up if we see the signs of strength. Simply, this has yet to happen, okay? So Solana, I do like Solana when it comes to fundamentals. I'm not an expert in that, but I do like Solana in terms of spot, okay? I'm actually gonna check this right now, as Solana might have this intraday opportunity here. We have just hit this daily level on Solana, so let's see if there is additional confluence. There's not an anchored VWAP. What about a volume profile? We are below this. So again, Solana might have a trade where we are right now. So we can see the daily level has been hit just a few minutes ago. Let's see if this is lining up with the 50% too. It's the 50% too. However, I would be longing straight into a big sign of weakness here, because we can see we lost the value area low, retested this, and flipped the previous demand zone into supply. The only long trade in terms of day trades even I would be tempted or interested to take on Solana would be the reclaim of this value area low. And for the sake of this video, I'm actually gonna, or this stream, I'm gonna place an alert here to see if that is going to happen, because this is where I would actually have a day trade. This is the target, would have to keep an eye on BTC, of course, see what's happening here. BTC, I don't like this level at all down here, but Solana, let's wait and see. My alert is placed just to see if we can reclaim that range. XRP, quick update. This was one of the levels I was waiting for. For me, it was also just a spot buy, as overall XRP is very easy to follow. So XRP is lower, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. All we do is put in these lower highs. So in terms of flipping bullish on XRP, no chance at this point. I do need to see the market structure change, or I do need to see, yeah, anything here. Okay, this is not really convincing. Not really convincing to me. So I'm gonna keep an eye on Solana here. But for me personally, no financial advice, of course. I am not very aggressive on this long trade here, okay? So let's now look at some requests. I will manage my trade here real quick just to see, because I am in this short trade on ES is up 1,500. I am in this long trade on NQ, it's up 3,700, and I have hedged my short trade on ES with the long trade on the micros, which is up 2,000. So this keeps me at 7,000 unrealized profit still. I'm just gonna see if at this point I do wanna trail this up for a little bit, because I think, yeah, this would then secure another 1,600. Let me see if this context has changed here, because it was a predefined level here today on NQ. So it's ES into this. Now I actually want to keep the short trade on ES here for now. Okay, that was just a quick look at that, and all of this was a given today in my daily plan. Okay, so every day I post my daily plan on ES and NQ, also Bitcoin if there's something to update. This was the level of interest, and I have taken this trade. We can see the first trade of the day was this actually, and that one single trade, you can't actually see that. Let's see if I zoom out. Yeah, anyways, you can see that, but that one single trade netted $20,000 already. And then we had this beautiful short trade on ES. And yeah, very nice. If you're interested in that, you know where to find it. And now let's have a look at some requests. So Link, also one of these where I bought just a little bit of spot. Yeah, and we have a special guest on this stream. So shout out to you. Hope you're doing well, and let's speak later. Nice one. So yeah, I'm gonna see. We can have a look at, yeah, Link. I don't think there's anything to update here. So I have taken a long trade here on my initial investment upon taking this previous low. I just don't think there's any good trades to be had. So hype is always requested. I don't like hype at all, but we can have a look at hype. So let's check hype. There was one short trade that we had on hype, which was actually the absolute high of this move. And when we look at this, I mean, you know that the most important thing for me is always to read the context. Okay, before I even check any levels, I need to check the naked price action. And what we have seen on hype was a very, very big sign of weakness. This was flipping the previous demand zone into supply. At the same time, we flipped this big range value area low into resistance. And whenever that is the case, for me, my eyes are drawn towards the next liquidity. The next zone of liquidity was down here at this SFP level, 20.784. Okay, we have taken out that level, and only then I can even look at any long trades. Okay, this was super obvious that, in my opinion at least, that we take out these lows. The next massive resistance that we had was 38. Okay, we had the previous range point of control. This was hit to the tick, and we have seen a pullback of, what is that, 26%, so that's not bad. Now we have to clean up the chart and see what's happening here. As we can see that this is really out of sync with Bitcoin, I would say. Let's compare this for a second. Yeah, while on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, we do see some, at least daily bounces. Hype didn't do any of that. So that's interesting to see. I'm gonna check the monthly. We do have a new monthly down here already marked out. Then we have a weekly here. That to me is too far away. I would not be interested in that. Also, I don't like how this looks on the daily. Maybe I would only be interested in a short trade. So let's see this on Hype. One thing that we have to identify here in terms of local price, or it's higher time frame price action, but we can see this downtrend technically was broken on the 27th of January. We had this nice move to the upside. That in itself means that I can look for a long trade on a pullback, but only on a really good level. So I'm not interested in anything that we have up here. In terms of price location, I do like this monthly, to be honest. At least, yeah, I must say this is the best level on Hype, actually. So this would be another drop of, what is it, 17% on Hype. Then I would say the monthly in confluence with the monthly NPOC and the .75 would be an interesting level that even I would be interested in, but only if we see a high time frame sign of strength. And that would be, I just released my new strategy, my 3-candle entry strategy refinement. And for me, if I see that on the 4-hour time frame, I would be interested in a trade here, but only then. I would never preset a level like this, and I would also not trade this on the 30-minute time frame, 5-minute or 1-minute time frame. Only on the higher time frame, I would be interested in that trade. But I could call this actually a nice swing trade. Swing long on Hype. In between though, I don't really think there is a good long trade to be had. Maybe I do have a short trade here though. As this daily looks quite interesting. Oh yeah, I like this daily. This definitely is a level of interest for me. Yeah, the best level that we have is 25 on Hype. And one thing I'm looking at would be the short trade into this long trade, which would be around $32. My initial invalidation I would keep at around 34, but I would adjust this if we see some intraday reactions here and start to go my way. Then I wouldn't keep my stop loss up here. This is one of the trades I would have to quickly manage, because something we have to be aware of is that the moment we reach that daily level, this could mean that we have just seen the reclaim of this range value area low. So that for me means the moment we see a pullback and we hit the retest of this, it's actually still the ongoing range value area low, I would have to manage my trade and move my stop loss lower and see if I can hold this into 25. Okay, but that leaves me with a nice short area of interest and a long trade for a nice swing trade. I'm just gonna check this real quick, as I would consider this now a sign of strength on ES. I'm gonna try my stop loss even higher now on NQ, which is gonna secure another 2,800 on NASDAQ. On this long trade, I'm gonna keep my stop loss at entry. So let's have a look at, okay, Puff guys, very interested in CCC. I think I checked this not too long ago, but let's see, I think it is that one. Interesting, this is not in sync with any of our bigger coins, so let's start on a monthly. I do need to check the volume here too. Average volume 59 million. It's okay, not the best. Gonna see, so we do have a weekly down here. I do have a daily above, although this doesn't really look like one I'm interested in for a short trade. This daily was hit. This daily was hit. Daily seem to be very well respected on this one, by the way. So this is all the high time frame levels I'd be interested in. Let's see an anchored view up from the lows. One thing that's interesting to see here, as I mentioned before, but before I even look at levels, I do need to get an idea of the naked price action. And what I can see on this CC coin is that it definitely respects previous supply and demand zones. So we had a beautiful supply into demand flip. Even if we look further to the left, we can see demand once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, lost, retested, flipped into supply. And this zone was then reclaimed and flipped back into demand. If we check the last supply zone that we have, this is also pretty well respected up here. So that is interesting to see, to say the least. And yeah, definitely not the worst asset actually to look at in terms of intraday opportunities. This was even lining up with an anchored view up, so that's not bad. However, I think all of these trades have passed already, so I don't really see another good trade there. Let me see this. On this one, I need to spend some more time and check some NPOCs, which I do over here. That always takes some time to load, so I'm going to do something in the meantime, but yeah, I do need to see the weekly NPOCs on this, as I kind of like this zone between 0.1427 and this low. So let's call this key. Which is also gonna line up with the CC. That is a nice level, to be honest with you. That is a really nice level. So also in terms of execution, this one is going to be very easy. So if we drop into here, I want to see the reaction, I want to see the reclaim of the daily, and then I have a super easy long trade. However, I'm still going to check these NPOCs. 1248. 1248 is one that is too far away. What about the monthlies? This is 15. Now that's a little bit too close to current price action, so it's not too helpful here, because 1248 would be quite a deep pullback, and I prefer the level above already, to be honest with you. So no, that one definitely is an interesting level on CC. Not interested in any short trades. I'm going to place an alert down here. Yeah, my new strategy was released, but only on the website, of course. So if you're interested in that, it is worth it. That's what I can say. Okay, let's have a look. What else is requested? I can also check some that moved quite a bit today. 6% arrow. No. And tomorrow I will do another altcoin stream, by the way, but that's going to be over on the website. ZRO. ZRO. I'm going to check this. Never heard of that before, I think. Or I have. 40% up on the day. Okay, what's going on here? Some short trades a while ago. Can delete my drawings. This monthly level is too far away. Typically, I don't like to trade these coins that had these massive pumps where I don't really know the reason for it. Because I will never buy into any of that. Okay, Solana is still stuck here. I will never buy into anything like that where it pumped out of nowhere. And I can see that we are hitting some key resistance here actually. So what about that high? Is it taken? It was a super shallow SFP. I need to place an alert for the highs because I'd be interested in a daily SFP here, which is going to take another 6 hours. So, I mean, you have to tell me why this is pumping because I have no idea, but I'm not interested in any long trades. All I would say is that this is at key resistance now, at massive resistance being this downtrend anchored VWAP. The value area high is also coming up here, so no, definitely not interested in any longs. Let's see, River. Also massive drop. This is an 80% drop from the all-time high. So let's see. Just gonna check if I have to manage something in terms of my trade. I'm gonna move my stop loss a little bit higher as we are going into the end of this session. On ES, actually, I'm gonna do the same with my short trade here. So that is gonna secure another 1,400. And this one is gonna secure 3,100. So it's gonna be a good day. I really don't like this price action here on River. This looks terrible. I do see what some people might be looking at is this bump and run here. Nah, I don't like it. Do not like this at all. And with these altcoins, I think I've done an altcoin stream last week on Thursday where I was going through quite a few. And some of these altcoins, in my opinion, look absolutely dead. I mean, this also goes to show why you should never really invest in one of these smaller cap altcoins. This is a 77% drop in 1 week. So I know that many people bought the high as always, and they are down 77%. So this can easily wipe out your portfolio, which is, yeah, I don't know, not the most sensible thing to do. I would always go with investing in the stock market if you want to take it serious, but no financial advice, of course. I can see there's 0 levels here on River. Not interested in that. Honestly, that is one of these. Just doesn't look nice. I don't see a trade here. I could only force a trade on River, and I don't want to do that. I'm now starting to choke my trade a little bit, so this one I'm gonna move just into the point of control and out of this ES trade now. Okay, good. So the only trades I have running is this long trade on ES. I'm also gonna choke this now. This would be 1,650. This one 350 or whatever. So okay. Yeah, true. Actually, with the new regulations, it's more difficult to take short trades if you are using Bybit, whatever, and only buy on spot. Can you talk about your midterm view on the stock market? We have actually just done a stock stream last week. Here I want to focus on altcoins for now. So let's see some more requests. Tether invented them. Okay, fair enough. Atom. Phew. Let's see, but I think this is one of these super bearish ones, isn't it? Yeah, in my opinion, Atom just looks like it wants to go to 0, to be honest with you. This is a minimum here is taking out these lows. Definitely not interested in any long trades. This looks super dead to me. In terms, I mean, look at this. The average volume on Atom is 6 million. So there's no liquidity in this, no level of interest. Everything we do is just, yeah, super bearish. And in my opinion, this should go to zero. Let's see, Tau. I remember trading this a long time ago, so. Oh, that looks interesting. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to Atom, no, Tau, this is also only chance here would be an SFP, which I would never take. So for me personally, not interested in that at all. And if we can't hold 119 SFP, this is also going to zero in my opinion. So one of these coins that is simply dying. So no, not good. No, just on some exchanges you can't take leveraged positions, and then if you only trade on spot, this would mainly be spot buys. So what I can do here is just scan my watch list for a little bit and see ENA. Let's see ENA. Wow, also, if you ask me, ENA is also going to zero as we can't hold the previous low. It's massive weakness on this. And the best thing to do here, honestly, is also go to zero, as I would never touch this without any strong reactions. Also, if you have any other questions, please let me know. So ADA, yeah, ADA I've seen many times, so let's do that. Is it here? Okay, ADA. We did have a setup down here in the monthly. I have not taken this trade, by the way. Something I don't really like is how close we came to this overall low. And what I'm going to say is that there's two things that can happen. One is we bottom out down here, then I would react to a market structure change, meaning at least take out the high, same as I said with BTC, Ethereum, and Solana. If that is the case, I am going to flip a little bit more bullish and say I'm longing these intraday levels, such as previous day value area lows, NPOCs, or whatever we're gonna get. But down here, I'm not interested in any buys. The next level of interest, though, would be this massive low that we have from the June 23. So if there is a nice SFP, I'm at least going to check the reaction. So I will place an alert down here. This, however, is not a long trade. Also going to place an alert for this high to see if we can flip the market structure. $90 million average volume after taking out these lows. Let's see. On this one, I would need to check the order flow just out of curiosity and see if there's orders coming in or if that is more of shorts closing. So let's do this. It's going to take some time. See this, I did have this area of interest here around 0.92. It's never really triggered because I wanted to take it to zero, as you can see. So I'm going to keep my alert here and see, but let's see, we do have a weekly here now. And a daily. That is close to taking the previous highs, which could be a sign of strength, but only if we get candle closes above, as always. This low looks interesting, but that is where I need to check the order flow and see if there's some open interest increases. Do we actually get longs open here, or is that just shorts closing? Gonna trail my stop loss more on NQ now. You just check these positions. Because I do want to call it at some point and not look at this all day. Okay, 0552. Not bad. You like this level then? Oh, this is a nice level here. So on Aster, whatever that is here, wait, I need to check NQ because we are seeing another pop here. Okay, let's see. I think this is a well-placed stop loss here as we do have 1 minute momentum on NQ. And if we lose that, I want to be out of that trade. Still floating 6,000 profits, so nice. Okay, on Aster, the plan is going to be very simple. If we take out these highs, we do get candle closes above. This would mean to me that we have an attempted market structure change on Aster. If we see a pullback into 0.55 weekly, daily NPOC, previous range low, CC, range value area low, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 confluences, really nice. Then I would be interested in a long trade down here, to be honest with you, a very, very nice level. And then I'm just gonna see how long I can keep this trade for. What's necessary though is to take out these highs. I don't want to see this double top here. I want to see a confirmed mark, not confirmed, but I want to see a candle close above this previous high. Okay, very important for me. But this is one I would keep an eye on if we get the pullback. So my alert is placed. What is that? LTC, we can check that too. So now I am out of that trade on NQ. And now also out of this trade on ES, I can see. So now I have no more open positions with a close P&L of the day of $31,247. Today was just an absolute paradise in terms of scalp trading. So lots of good trades to be had. On LTC, my perspective is that we are at least going to take out the low at 40.32. When we are trading down here, there's always two scenarios. One would be an easy SFP. We get the move into these lows, get a candle close above. That is where I might be interested in a position on LTC. The other scenario that we always have is price action below. We get more of a failed auction. At some point, we get the reclaim. This is very similar to what was happening on Aster. I'm going to go back to Aster to explain this. Okay, so technically down here, we also have a failed auction because price was spent or did spend some time below this low. We can see candle closes below. Then we are now seeing the reclaim. So this can be classed as a failed auction of the range low or of this previous low that we had. I would look at something very similar here on LTC. Either we get an SFP, which would be an easy long entry, and if that is not the case, I am simply going to wait for the same as on Aster. I need intraday price action to form, I need NPOCs, I need new dailies, I need CC retests, and then I can still take the trade. So that's what I'm going to do here. Bonk is one of these 1,000, isn't it? 1,000 bonk. Yeah, no. The bonk looks awful here. Nah, this one, wow. Not interested in that at all. The minimum target for me would be take out this low, preferably even send this to 0. So, what is that? Never seen that before. Well, that's some decent volume here. So technically we got this acceptance into the previous range value area low, rotation into the value area high, and yeah, now we are breaking this, so there's definitely no short trade to be had for me. Let's see this previous high. No, this looks like one. Oh, no. Difficult to trade this. Don't see any good trades here. Because I don't like to long into these impulses. The only trade, to be completely honest with you, would be a very big pullback, and that would be 43%. That would be into the daily and this anchored view up. We do have beautiful confluence there, but in between I just can't look for a long trade. I'm going to look at one more, as tomorrow I have another altcoin stream where I need to keep some altcoins yet to be analyzed. So let me see what else. ZEC, yeah, I think ZEC moved quite a bit, isn't it? Recently, at least. So on ZEC, I did have a plan to take a long trade if we had seen the support hold at 234 and then see the reclaim of this range low. But yeah, similar to all of these altcoins, actually, we have never seen the sign of strength. So there was no long trade to be had. I can check the local price action here, but it doesn't look very promising. No, definitely not with this price action. It looks exactly the same as everything that we have, and I'd only be interested if I see a bigger sign of strength here. So I'm going to prepare for the next level to the downside, which actually we hit the one and only level, the last level. What about, it's not even the best. What you can notice here is that I'm definitely less interested in short trades, given that we had these massive pullbacks. I am looking at more of these swing trading long trades at this point, because I don't like shorting at the lows down here. It's very simple, but there's no long trade to be had here. About this, if we see a rally to the upside, this would be 20 or 30%. It's going to be big resistance here, reclaiming that previous range value area low. So that is definitely going to be some nice resistance. I'm going to place an alert. But in terms of long trades, nothing here on ZEC anymore. It is going to be the exact same as on BTC, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and many others. We need to see the market structure change. We need to see the sign of strength. If that is given, then I can look for those intraday long trades, position myself in leverage long trades, see if I can compound my trades after more signs of strength. But for now, I would be longing weakness, which I don't really want to do. So No, that's going to be it. That is all the altcoins I'm able to look at for today. Tomorrow, as I said, there's going to be many streams, by the way. So the first one is going to be stock market update by myself, where I look at the futures. Then we have Daniel with the BTC update. Then I'm going to do another altcoin stream where I'm going to look at even more setups. Then I have live trading 30 minutes before NY Open, where I'm taking all of these trades live in time. My alerts are placed for futures. Futures I trade mostly in terms of the scalp trades anyways, but my alerts are placed for crypto. So if anything moves during these live trading streams, I'm always taking the trades live too. But for now, I simply have to stay patient. As traders, the only job we have is preserve capital at the end of the day. And for me, it is a time to preserve capital still on crypto. When it comes to spot investments, the first investments could have been made, no financial advice. When it comes to leverage long trades, though, I still need to be patient and wait for more signs of strength. And then I will flip bullish. I'm just going to give it time, as I am in this game for the long term. I don't want to waste my capital here trying to catch the bottom, which we might not have seen yet. So I hope you enjoyed the stream. See you all tomorrow in these next live streams. And yeah, wish you all the best. See you next time, and bye-bye.